All right. Hey, welcome to the first episode in the new year of At Witt's End. I'm Ken. That's Carson. He's 6,000 miles away in Austria and 9-hour difference. I'm here on the west coast of the United States. And for those of you who don't know, he's in Linz, Austria, Upper Austria. So with that, we'll get into our first podcast of 2024. So
2024.
I know it's kind of scary. Time goes by fast, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was a long year, I guess.
Well, you finished it off being a little sick, so and I finished it off with a medical thing too. So
Yeah, speaking of, that was a lot of our last episode. How's the recovery going?
the recovery is great. I had the hip really has been no pain, but it makes the other joints that I kind of forgot about work a little harder. So now I'm feeling, oh, God, the knees are bad. I got to get the other hip done. But I was doing so well, my physical therapist that came to the house said, "Hey, we're going to start visiting the office. We're done. You're way ahead of everybody else. You're doing great. You're phenomenal." Then all of a
You
sudden,
you do
I
you do
got
really well tooting your own horn.
damn straight. Need to do this. Nobody else does. But well, that's physical therapy. Believe me, I was kind of being wimpy going into this. I didn't. It still flips me out that they can do what they did in just a day, and you're out walking that afternoon. So phenomenal surgery. Like I said, I'll thumbs up to Jameson. But with that said, a couple of days ago, I looked down at I think I sent you a picture of my middle toe, all red and kind of swollen.
Yep.
And it's still swollen. But
The old
Saturday,
man disease.
yeah, last night it really swelled up. Actually, no, Friday night it swelled up really bad. I went out and saw a friend's band, and we had to leave early because I couldn't keep my shoe on. And
So you said it wasn't the old man disease of
yeah,
gout.
I got to quit using gout when I make old man jokes because I thought I had gout. Everything that I looked up on the medical internet availability, I thought, man, it's definitely gout, but I want to go to the doctor and confirm it. And good and bad, it was. He goes, no, this isn't gout, but they don't know what it is. That's the scary thing. And I went back again yesterday because my whole foot was swelling up yesterday because I think of the night before. And again, a new doctor, he looked at it. He goes, well, wow, let me take a picture of this. And he wants me to have blood work done and an X-ray done. And he gave me some
is it the
antibiotics.
Is it the foot on the same side as your new
Which
hip?
scares me because I don't want anything, to go up. So he says, don't worry about it. It's not. He doesn't know what's going on, but he said not to worry about it. I feel like an old man talking about it. So let's move on to something. So you wanted to do something unique concerning music.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to do it, if you're prepared for it. I'm not prepared. So
I guess
tell the huge audience of At Wit's End what you're looking to do.
Yeah, so I've been seeing it a little ways, so I thought I'd get in on the fun. So a new segment I'm calling some forgotten jams. This is music that I think in its heyday was huge and super popular, and you could hear it on the radio all the time, or it was in the original iPods or something like that. At least for me, for you, it'd be on like 8 tracks, but for my selection, it would be
you can't even
call
it. You can't say albums anymore because it's been so long. I would say albums, and now albums are back.
Yeah, vinyl's back.
You call it vinyl. To me, it's
yeah.
albums.
So I wanted to go with some forgotten jams. So let me share a little.
Are there any parameters? Do they have to be top? Well, I know you said big hits.
I just think they were like big in their day. I think it's for you to judge, and this may be a difference of music taste.
And there could be some that were taken down by the artist, like the Stones don't do Brown Sugar anymore.
Yeah, so right? this may
I'll
be
exclude that.
So it may be just a difference of taste, but I want to hear your opinion if you remember the songs. So the first song of my forgotten jams list
So
Um,
I'll know these. Okay.
maybe one of them, at least one of them, is definitely not your jam. So um, here we go. All right, so the first of my forgotten jams is this.
Okay, I hear it. Wait, I mean that's a childhood.
So that's the first. Chain Hang Low
Wait,
by Jibs.
yeah, don't never heard either one.
You
Chain
never heard
what?
that one? Chain
Chain
Hang Low.
hang low.
It in for like a month in this was gosh I think this was like mid 2000s. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but
So were
Chain
you in?
Hang
Wait, were
Low.
you in? You were in junior high or something, or what were you?
I think I was in high school. Let me double check. Uh,
By
so
Jibs,
it came out in 2006. So I
dude.
was
That is
eighth
obscure.
eighth grade. Is when this came out. But when you listen to it,
The bad years.
it is just you can sing the song. It's
Well, that's
the
because
words are
it's a childhood. It's the song that you play when you wind up a Jack in the Box, right? Or an ice cream
no
truck.
no
Yeah,
no
the intro to that. Come on, man.
maybe, but it just it's got a catchy beat to it. So
Well, let
in
me ask you this:
the
is that a
of course
reference to let's see, Chang Hang? Is it about his
you chain
chains or is
hang.
it his penis?
No, it's about
Oh,
chain
okay.
hanging.
Oh, you kids.
That's weird that you would go there. All right, this next one you'll definitely know. I don't think it's actually gone away, but I haven't heard it played in a while. It's very topical. In sports, you'll hear it all the time.
Oh, this
It's
is
one of
this the
those
one you
hype
wanted to be
songs.
your JKU hype song?
It could be one, but here it is. Pretty easy to know.
Okay.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need
Remember the name Fort Minor,
Yeah.
absolute banger.
Uh,
I think
what year
still
was
gets
that?
plays.
Because I do know it, but I think the main reason I know it is the Astros or you guys were talking about warm up type songs or coming onto the field. Yeah,
2005. I
that's
was in
fairly
seventh
modern.
grade when that came out.
Okay,
That's almost a 20-year-old song now, but
so I don't
that
know if I.
still
Yeah, I've
hits.
seen the video. I can't say that. Yeah. Okay.
Still hits as an absolute legendary intro song.
So these songs
Um,
were they like top 40 as well?
yeah, these would definitely have been
Okay,
top 40. Now this one's a little bit different from those two. I think those are more like rap hip hop. But
the same band, right? Yeah.
no, those are
Oh
completely different.
no, I mean the next one too.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
all right.
This one, not sure if you'll know, but this was a alt rock song that was pretty big.
Awake on my airplane, awake on my airplane. My skin is bare, my skin is theirs.
Yeah.
Awake on my airplane, awake.
Of the three, this would be the one.
Yeah, so Take a Picture by Filter. I mean
Yeah.
that was all over the radio in
Are they
the
still
2000s.
2009? I think it says on there.
I think it
Right.
was 2000. I think it no, that was a remastered version.
So did they do anything else?
I don't think they had a lot of music. So that was released in 1999. So that is over. That's a
Wow.
25-year-old song now.
Wow. That's definitely your.
Yeah, so that's I was 6 years old then. But yeah, so those are my three songs. So again, Chain
Okay,
Hang Low by Jibs,
that's
Remember the Name by Fort Minor, and then Take a Picture of Phil.
it's gonna be harder for me now because I was thinking like one hit wonder type stuff,
No, that could definitely be. You could definitely pull one hit wonders.
and I thought it'd be something like Miley Cyrus. What's her America song? Something like that.
But that's not a one hit wonder. That's
No,
people still know
but
that.
songs they don't
About
play,
that.
but they do play that one
Because
again.
Miley Cyrus is still like a thing.
Or what?
She's still got huge songs.
I don't know if or like that Tiffany, the mall concerts,
Yeah.
something
Yep.
like that. But I'd be embarrassed to bring that up. Nothing against Tiffany or something, but
Yeah,
I got to think about this.
But yeah, you got to think. So the forgotten
artists-
jams.
The
So
artists seem somewhat obscure too.
Yes, obscure one hit wonders. I mean, definitely one hit wonders fall in it, but they were like huge in their day, but they've just kind of died. No one listens to them a lot more. So I think of the three I have, I think the Fort Minor, Remember the Names, probably doesn't fit that description the best. But
man, I may have to find some outside help on that. There's so many songs.
But you have I mean, you're a music guy, so you should have a pretty significant.
Yeah, but it's also got to be something
to
that's
choose from.
somewhat recognizable nationally or globally.
Yeah, I
can't go
mean, you have
back
to think like you go to like
the Tan out of Santa Barbara, that was a regional
no,
band.
but you got to go to like for you like 1980 and pull a song that was like huge in 1980 and just doesn't get playtime anymore.
One of those bands that is the opening act for a 80s revisited concert, and there's no current members of that band still alive, but the son is still touring.
Like an 80s cover band would play this song, but they're not covering the entire band.
Yeah, okay.
Right? That's the kind of jam I'm looking for. But
and the 80s are
so that
back.
is forgotten jams.
That's my homework for the freaking podcast. All right, then. Okay, here's one for you. And I mentioned. So, looking back on 2023, what's your top, say, 3 to 5 events for you, the podcast?
Top events. I mean, I think
things you've done or we covered or experienced.
Yeah, number one I think is pretty obvious. Formula One Las Vegas.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my hip surgery. God, no love.
I wasn't there. I wasn't involved. I didn't do the surgery, so
I sent you a picture of what they took out.
Bone. Yeah, no, that's at the bottom of my list.
That's a good one.
F1 Las Vegas, top of the list. I mean, remarkable event. All the like hype around it and
lived up to the hype.
Yeah, living up. The fact that it lived up to the hype was like what made it, and it started off so badly, and then still lived up to the hype. It's just a masterpiece.
That would be on my list too. So maybe we'll go side by side. I'll say F1 as well. I don't know if that's number one. I don't want to, but it lived up to the hype. I think we're both feeling bad going into it because it was expensive, and we thought, oh shit.
I still feel bad about that. So that's not
it was very, but like you said, we thought it started off bad with the manhole cover stuff.
It definitely did.
But in the end, didn't it kind of make it more memorable?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it was bad, but
and so the next morning, what did we do? We went out and took pictures of us by the manhole covers.
Yeah.
That's one once. You're never probably going to do that again.
Las Vegas manhole covers are famous.
Are famous now. Yes. So people they're going to want to steal those, and I'm sure they've already had a problem on it. And then the other thing about the F1 is kind of like the top music you just had. Very diverse opening, closing, party music everywhere. All genres from country to hip hop.
And you learn to like a DJ now. You have a favorite DJ.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but
Martin Garrix.
He's the one that looks like
he's Dutch, I believe. He's like
okay. Dutch. Yeah, he looks Dutch.
But he's been hanging out with Lando Norris in their like.
Who's the DJ with the long hair?
Steve Aoki.
He's everywhere now.
Yeah. He's just one of the dudes. Yeah.
I think I could be a DJ. I could spin tunes and jump up and down and wear headphones like I'm doing that. I could be the old guy. You know what
Steve Aoki's famous for during his like DJ
clothing
sets?
He looks like a.
No, he throws giant cakes at people and hits them in the face in the crowd. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever.
Dude,
I'll have to
I
run you.
could be a DJ. I would
I'll have,
enjoy doing that.
no, this Stevie Aoki's got a cannon of a cake arm. Like he is accurate and he throws them deep.
Are they edible cakes?
Oh yeah, and they're big too. They're not like the little like single serve cakes. They're
Does
like
he throw them with his
huge.
arm or like some kind of cannon thing?
No, no, he just chucks them. He'll put them like on his forearm, and then he'll just chuck it into the crowd, like specifically at a person,
Does
and
he
they'll
do
get
more
cakes on
clubs or
those.
arenas? I don't
No,
know.
mostly like
I could see it in
yeah,
clubs.
he does both. He does clubs. He's got a residency. He
So if I
does
ever become a
festivals.
DJ, I would worry about that, and here's why. Because I've thought about everything from those pressure guns shooting out T-shirts at sporting events to something like that, or throwing a drumsticks into a crowd at a concert. If you hurt somebody,
Yeah, yeah. I bet they like have to sign a waiver when they get a
I think
ticket.
on the back of your ticket it probably says it.
Yeah.
Okay, so F1,
All right,
a
so I went
success.
first. So you go with number two now. What's your number two?
Okay, number two for me. Well, I would say it's kind of travel. The cruise was our first cruise, so I guess it's a big event, but I wouldn't say it was my most exciting. I think your mom and I going to Rome was nice. So our first cruise was nice. There were some aspects that were great, some that were disappointing. So for us, that was a big event. First time we've ever done it, you know. And we'll do it again, but we're not going to be people who cruise every year. Let's put it
You're
that
not
way.
cruisers. That's
No.
something I've seen on actually TikTok a bunch is like cruise horror stories.
Well, the weird thing is cruises are so hot right now. Everybody's going on a cruise. They're
Yeah,
launching every. I was just watching the Detroit game, and there was cruise commercials. Last night I was watching TV, cruise
yeah.
commercials. They've launched a bunch of new ships, but I'll tell you what, and you know, I don't want to be the old fart down the street that screams at kids walking on his lawn, but the cruise ships they've launched, a lot of them have those huge playgrounds and slides and
Well,
kids pools and
they just
go-karts.
launched the largest ever.
Yeah, after being on a cruise, I realized I love kids, but I think I love my own kids more. Other people's kids, when you want to sit and have a drink and just pass out by the pool, not fun.
Well, I mean that's why like adults only cruises are so popular, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I
Like
appreciate the childless couple that doesn't do that or go with kids
yeah,
anymore. So, so that's
it's
it.
good number
Okay.
two.
Yeah, that was number two. But I'll also include because I went by my trip to Austria to see your first football game, which I did not get to see because you got a bye week. But got to hang out with the guys, some of the family, introduced to my family your football team, and they seem to have loved it. Like Melly was all soft friends in the crowd she hadn't seen in a while. Herwig, who happens to be somewhat prominent in business in Austria, was like, "This is fantastic." He'd never been to one before, so I
They
think we
bought
built.
into the hype.
So they bought into the hype, and I think you know that was a nice travel event. So, what's your next one?
Yeah, so
Or
number
did I
two
already
for
get
me
it?
was probably football, right? So
Yeah,
it's been a year long thing and started in October of 2022 and kind of culminated in a absolute thrashing by the team onto us
yeah. You guys will have to
in our
listen
first
to
game.
a previous podcast where I think
Yeah,
we discussed it a little bit. It was a disappointment, but not
but
unexpected.
the just the build up, the development, like being able to coach and build up this program and build something that at least got to a point to where we could compete a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when
Like
you think about it, you were part of really building a program from the ground up, from getting uniforms, designing uniforms to the game scheme, the
yeah,
offensive, defensive scheme.
yeah, just
And the only American that I know of in the whole league, correct? Or have you found anybody
I'm
else?
not sure. I'm not sure on that.
I'll still claim it, at least with the
Um,
Astros.
but yeah, I mean, doing it like it's my first like kind of full coaching experience, and I'm pretty much like I have a one of two coaches on the team for the majority of the time that been practicing and playing.
Yeah, don't want to leave
Uh,
Roman out.
Yeah. For the majority of the time, Roman came a little bit later. Yeah.
Started out with two, and then you got a few extra guys
So
helping out.
it's definitely been a learning curve, huge learning experience, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to get back to it here soon, hopefully.
Yeah, and so for me, let's like a number three. Well, let's do one that's music. I would say the music event for me. Take a guess, because I raved about it,
The
and it
music
wasn't a
event.
rave. It was a kind of
You went to the county bowl for dude's last concert was
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny
That was
Loggins.
a big event. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to review it too much. That's where your mom and I met. That's where you guys were all born, baptized, and came into the world. Kenny Loggins was always around. He was part of the Santa Barbara scene. But no, actually, it was the Peter Frampton concert. That
Oh,
one blew
okay.
me away. It still is probably one of my favorite concerts ever. And if you didn't listen to that podcast, just because Peter Frampton was, you talk about huge, I mean, but they still play his songs, not as much as I'd like to see him. But the fact that he had a muscular disease and had pretty much given up on life and then decided one night to come back and continue to play. And he was, I don't want to say better. Yeah, to me, he was better than ever. He had to sit in a chair the whole time with his disease, and the guy jammed. His voice was great. The crowd loved it. So that would be a big event as well. Anything else for
Okay.
you from
Yeah,
2023?
I think number three, it's like a series of things, but I got to see a lot of soccer, football, foosball,
Yeah,
and kind of
from
uh,
regional to national.
adopted a team. Like I've joined the fan base of the local club
Are
that's
you actually
plays
like
on.
registered as a fan? Do they have a like? Do you register?
No,
I mean, you're a ticket
um,
holder.
I mean I follow all their socials, and I've been to a lot of games. So speaking of last year, the Linz local Linz Bundesliga club,
Lens
um,
Athletics Soccer Club. Is
Linz
that
Athletic Sport Club,
sport club? Okay.
soccer club.
Well,
Um,
yeah, it's true.
um,
Eh,
but but like being a part of like the fan base and having a team to cheer on, like you know, it's for me like growing up where we grew up mainly in Sacramento. We have the Kings, and I've always been an ardent Kings supporter. But it's been pretty rough for the majority of my lifetime, um, up until recently, and then way long ago. And we didn't have, I'm a big Giants supporter, so I had them, but they weren't local, so we didn't go to a ton of games. It was a decent amount, and we
yeah,
had no football team in the Sacramento area, but the Raiders
yeah,
and Niners
and
aren't
the
far away.
Niners.
But I've never had a
But you
NFL
had
team.
kids, you had guys you grew up with and played with, both on the Giants and on the 49ers. So that kind
Yeah,
of brings your loyalty.
in like my first where I could go to a lot of games was when I went to Virginia Tech. Like I was always going to
Hmm.
the sports events for them, and I love going to cheer on Tech. And you know, ever since moving away from there, I hadn't been able to consistently go to a lot of matches of different sporting events, and last kind of brought that back. It's fun to cheer on a new sport, get involved, and like get to watch and
Proficient
learn, and
and
yeah,
appreciate what's going on.
to cheer for something totally new to me, and it's a culture that's different, and I love the idea of soccer culture and football
Yeah,
culture in Europe. Like it's a
it's
different
a
thing.
passion. It truly
Yeah,
is.
and it's
I,
cool to be
I,
a
I
part of
will
that.
say
And
I'm
then
still kind of torn. You've kind of made me a Last fan, but I kind of feel like I need to be a Rapids fan.
you have to
I do.
choose one or the other.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I've got more last gear now. I like their colors better. I'm not into the green. So I don't know. That's going to be hard.
But no, I will say so. I say it as a whole. So I also saw their football sporting events. So we both saw the national team match, Austria versus Belgium.
That was a
Was
very
a
cool event because
very
it was
cool
in the
one.
same national stadium that we saw the Stones in the
Yeah,
previous like year or summer, and the Austrian flags just not just
yeah,
one section of the stadium throughout the entire stadium was just a spectacle of color, sound, and the enthusiasm, excitement, energy in that stadium. And it was a good match.
yeah.
So
And then really early in the year, I saw Salzburg play in Rome for a Europa League match against
yeah,
Roma. That was very cool. Uh, I saw a Rapid Wien match in Vienna. Um, So I'd have to see and continue seeing a lot of
Well, didn't
soccer
you
matches.
also go to London for a Premier League match, or was that the year before?
I think that was
You've been
2022
to
up
two
there.
up there, right?
Yeah, I've been to two year
Okay.
English matches, Premier
Well,
League.
maybe
So
not this year.
the Derby, Manchester Derby, and then uh, Tottenham and Southampton, I think. Which Southampton's relegated, I believe.
Okay.
So they're not even in the Premier League this year.
So with that, I
um,
mean,
those are
and it,
probably my top three. Yes.
yeah, and I
Um,
think I've hit them too. You know, what about for 2024? I'll give you one that should be probably yours. Um, I don't want to say prediction, but my hopes is that the Astros will be in the Summer Bowl playoffs. So I think that's a goal for you guys, and I hope
it's a
it's going to be tough to make.
definite goal. I want to just first win on the board, first points on the board. Um, yeah, let's start there. We'll we'll develop goals as we go, but I wanna be competitive on the field. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the next games.
Well, I
Get
know
back
we
in.
also talked about going to Dublin to see Florida State play. God, who were they
Georgia
going to
Tech.
play? No, Georgia Tech was it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Georgia Tech. But I don't know. Everybody from Georgia Tech and Clemson, or not from Florida State, have already booked all the hotels and all the packages. So probably not going to happen. And we don't have any loyalty to either school, so maybe we wait on that.
yep. I'd like to hit a so continuing this like football thing, European football. I'd like to hit a Champions League match. So that is a goal of mine to find one to go to. I wanted to go to Copenhagen, playing Manchester City in Copenhagen, but the tickets are like minimum €800 or something. I was like, can't do that. And
we
also,
need we need to get a sponsor, somebody to buy us out like Barstool. Fortnite, man.
continue. I'd like to continue the traveling stuff, so I need to hit like the Iberian Peninsula countries, one of the
Poland,
Middle East. Go further
Krakow.
east to Poland, one of the, and then go further north, the Scandies, or to the
The Scandies.
I forgot the region, but the like Netherlands, Belgium,
Yeah, yeah.
Luxembourg.
The North Atlantic or North Sea
No,
area.
it's I can't remember the specific name, but it's that name. And then northern Germany also. I've been far north in Germany. But yeah, I mean, I'll always continue to travel. Is a big one, and
Yeah.
also, yeah, travel. But love to like hit another continent, um, whether that be like Asia, Middle East, or Africa, like Morocco or something. That'd be cool to do, proximity wise.
Yeah.
And then what I thought you were gonna say originally, you said this was finishing a master's degree would be
Oh,
nice.
yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
get your
as well.
paper finished and
Yeah,
completed. I mean, you've pretty much done everything else. You just got to do some rewrites. So
but
I need
yeah,
that
that's what I'm
motivation.
looking forward to in 24. So
Okay. Well, good. Well,
any
and
other for you?
peace in the Middle East. I mean, it's hard. I don't do a lot of resolutions just because it's just not a thing. I quit doing that years ago. Um, but I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to do. I just don't know if they're going to happen in
All right,
2024.
give me one thing that like literally just one thing that you're just like I need to do this before I can't do this anymore. Like I won't be able to do this.
Um, I guess it would have to be travel. You know, I could say get back into pickleball, but hopefully I'll be able to do that this year in a couple of months if I keep going ahead of schedule. But you
All
know,
right, what's so
no
I think I know the
travel
one
wise.
place.
Okay, go ahead.
I think I know the one place you're talking about, but I it's unreachable in the
Uh,
foreseeable future.
okay, go ahead.
Uh, what is another place besides that?
But
I
no,
think
let me know the one you're thinking of.
Israel. You've always wanted to
Oh,
go to
okay.
like Israel,
Well, yeah, Israel, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and
but
also the Soviet
obviously,
Union, St. Petersburg and
yeah,
Moscow.
everywhere you want to go is shockingly unavailable for the foreseeable future.
Well, and when you went to Austria, I mean, that was my plan, was to also go to those places, and then basically shit hit
Well,
the fan
but
globally.
outside of the obviously like
Uh,
the two top destinations for you can't go to. for a while
well,
now.
well, I know with your mom, she wants to go to the UK. I've been there before, so that would be a destination. Um,
But you haven't been there in a
s-
long time.
yeah, long time. I
But
don't.
what is the one spot? Like if you had to go one place this year and that's it.
God,
That's not those two that we talked about.
so nothing in the UK.
No, it could be the UK. It could be just one place.
Mm, I guess it would be London,
It
Dublin.
is London. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would think for
I mean,
mom as
it's
well.
hard because there's so. I'd love to go to Turkey, to Istanbul, and to go to the coast and check out those resorts. Hopefully, Turkey doesn't get involved in anything wild in the next year or two. Um, yeah, I've been invited to go to the Philippines. Not a place I've really thought about going, but there's thousands of islands in the Philippines. Where do you go?
Side note, it's a tangent on the Philippines. I saw a TikTok that you could get like a high rise place
Yep.
in Bangkok for like
Well, that's
120K.
Thailand, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
you don't want to. My business partner, he's building. He's
yeah.
going to buy, I think, 150 lots there. He's planning on buying on an
But okay,
island.
London, UK makes a lot of sense. I think the whole like British Isles, Ireland as well. I think that is the whole part for you. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely
I
what.
would also, to go back a little bit, not really a destination. Well, it is a destination, but I'd like to get more into. I'd like to get to Bern, Switzerland, to dig a little deeper into my family's roots and see what distant
Your dad's family's
cause.
roots.
Well, yeah, that's my dad's
Well, yeah,
family
but I mean,
roots.
we know
Yeah,
your mom's because I live with
you're
your
there. Yeah, exactly. So that would be something I'd like to, maybe
yeah.
not 2024, but beyond maybe. So
All right. Cool. Well, that's yeah. I think did 2024 and 2023 look bad. 2024 look forward. I guess.
wait, Ed. So before we sign off, I'm going to ask you about Mexican food in Austria. And I mentioned this to Carson. It's kind of interesting. A lot of the expats in Austria on their social media
Well,
posts.
specifically American.
Well, yeah, they're, if you're on social media, it's called Americans in Austria, Americans in Vienna. I think Americans living in there's multiple, and food is always a big one. Where to buy food that is more American themed. And I know when I was younger and visiting Austria, I would say probably in my 20s, the one thing I was jonesing for more than anything was Mexican. I think it was a place Uncle Hans took me, El Pancho or something, and the tortillas were basically corn pancakes. The beef was basically you just shredded beef, a burger. So it was a nice try, I guess, but it was terrible. But I'm looking at and Mexican food's probably the highest percentage of requests. There's other things too, where to get grits, where to get this and that. So that's always interesting to me. But most of it's in Vienna.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it's
Is
like
there any
nothing here.
Mexican food in Linz?
There's there's a place out at the mall, but it's not
So your
Mexican.
fantasy of opening a taco truck, taco stand, Gringos Tacos, could go over big in Linz
Yeah, there
if you
was
could
a
get the food.
there was a Mexican joint and it closed down during the pandemic. Towards the
Oh,
end of the
geez.
pandemic. Yeah,
So of the ones in Vienna, have you been to La Taqueria Chiquita? I think it's called. No.
no.
What about Tonio's
Tonio's
Tacos?
tacos. Yes, I've been there.
What
I've met Tonio.
you've met Tonio?
Yep,
Is he
he made
Mexican?
my yeah. Made
Uh,
he's from Monterey, I think.
Monterrey. Oh
Yeah.
man, tell him hello.
Um,
What?
but
How was the food?
it's fantastic.
Really?
It's
Okay, so
yeah,
you would
loved
give
it.
that place
I've been there
thumbs up.
twice.
Okay, well, for you to go there
Actually,
twice, that's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I went there one time when you were here, um, and I was like on my own for some reason. You and maybe it
We,
was when
we
you were
probably
with
went and did something.
my
Yeah.
brother, but I went by myself and it was. But yeah, I've been there a few times, and yeah, I love Tonio's tacos.
So you took
One
you
of the
took us to the
things
Chipotle ripoff place that wasn't that good instead of this one,
it's
huh?
yeah, I mean, the
Where's
it's called
Tonio's? What
Antonio's
district?
is in the it's out in the Prater district. I
Oh,
think it's the
okay.
12th, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not the easiest to get to. It's only one, so the Chipotle ripoff you're talking about is Matt's and Benito's, which is not bad at all.
No,
I go there
when I
pretty
say
often.
rip off, I mean taking the concept. I don't want to say
Yeah,
they're
it's
rip off. They're
conceptually
not
like very
bad.
similar.
You can go there. Yeah, you can have a burrito
But
or a
it
taco,
doesn't
but
have a lot
it's
of the ingredients and
no.
stuff like and
I don't think they had
but
any
it's
jalapenos.
they do. They do.
They do. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe I
yeah.
missed them.
It's just it's not bad at all. I definitely go there. Like when I go to Vienna, it's always like one of the places I think about going to.
What
But it's solid. It's just
What about
yeah.
Cormal?
Well,
Have you ever?
I haven't heard-
El Fio? I was just writing them down. And then
yeah,
there's
okay.
one that just popped up, Cali Mex in the 22nd district, Donau Centrum. You ever hear of that one?
I've heard of that, but I haven't been there. Yeah,
Which would be interesting since it's called Cali Mex, so I'm assuming it's a Californian
yeah.
Mex.
I'll have to look it up. But I know like I think the first one you talked about, the taqueria,
I think
it's
that's the newest one.
it's just street tacos.
Oh,
Is
so
it?
true.
No, it's um. There's a different one. I can't remember the
Well,
name.
what's funny about, I think it's the Americans in Vienna one, somebody finally
Yeah,
put, it was on the taco chain, and they finally said they should rename the group Californians in Vienna because it was all Californians looking for Mexican food from Huntington
yeah.
Beach
La
to San.
Tatria Chiquita is it's run by an ex Mexican diplomat.
Oh, wow.
So he'd
Okay.
been in Vienna and he was a diplomat at the UN, I believe. And
Yeah.
he opened up a street taco joint because he saw there
Makes
was street
sense.
tacos in Vienna.
I wonder where they get their tortillas, or they make them themselves.
Probably import them. Like there's Mexican grocery store in Vienna,
Yeah.
and they actually recently opened up another location in Graz.
Oh,
But
Graz, man.
yeah, but yeah, sadly, Linz has zero Mexican stuff anywhere.
Which is surprising because I would have thought Linz, as a more industrial, working class town, would have
You
a
thought there'd
more
be at least one,
Mexican
right?
population. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Well,
But
good.
yeah, I definitely give my two thumbs up to Antonio's tacos. La Taqueria Chiquita, it's delicious. Just street tacos. That's what they do. Looks good. I
Well, try
know.
out that Cali Mex one next time you're out.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. I mean, Taqueria Chiquita is on my list as well to go to. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, finding good Mexican food is always a challenge. I did realize there's a Spanish food destination down there.
Well,
But
yeah.
the reason I won't, it'll take me a while to go there is because it's a like a fancy
Oh,
restaurant.
oh,
It's like a high end tapas bar, basically.
okay. Yeah, it'd be
But
unusual
authentic
just.
Spanish food, which
But see,
being
you could also
closer,
just take a cheap flight to Barcelona or
yeah,
Madrid and
yeah,
actually have
one of
lunch and
those,
come back.
yeah,
If it's,
€20
yeah,
Ryanair
yeah.
flights.
So, all right.
Yeah, I think that's wraps up this episode.
From
Tomorrow
tacos
national
to,
championship game.
yeah.
So
Oh, that's
we'll end
yeah,
this. We'll end this with a
predictions.
prediction, and then we'll talk about college football. Plenty of stuff to talk about there with the wrapping up of the bowl season
Yeah.
and going into next year. Which is an exciting one for me for that team you're wearing. It's
Oh,
a
so
exciting
forgot.
bowl game. But we'll talk about that next
They
episode.
actually won.
They won really well. So, but we'll end this predictions. Michigan and Washington. What's the score? Who will win?
You know, NFL and college football this season, the one word I can think of is parity. There's nobody really dominant. I think Michigan's going to win it, but I want Washington to win it because let's face it, the Pac-10 or Pac-12
Pac-12 go out on top.
It's going bye-bye. Let's see him go out on top. And, a guy that's from Lompoc, where I played football, Cabrillo High, he went to Lompoc High, Napoleon Kaufman, I think was there when they last won the national championship. And, so I would I want Washington to win. I think Michigan's going to win. Now, here's the tough part of that. I have no idea what the over-under score is going to be.
It's just a prediction.
All right. 21-17, Michigan.
Okay.
That's
You
pretty
linguished over
conservative.
that. I've got it in my head already. 31-28 Washington.
Really? Because of the offense.
Michael Penix Jr. snubbed by the Heisman. That's my big thing. Snubbed by the Heisman is going to show why he should have won it. 31-28. He scores. They're down 28-24 with 2 minutes left, and Penix puts a drive lifetime together.
Well, I think if Michigan, contrary to what they just did, if they start out well and get some points on the board, that will be the big determining factor, because it seems like Washington takes a while to get things rolling.
I think the biggest factor in the game of everything, of any matchup, will be the Washington O-line versus the pass rush of Michigan. There's no other matchup that will be as important as that one, and that will determine the game. I think Washington will win that, and I'm rolling with Washington. 31-28.
And as a kind of a side note to the Washington hopes they win, there's the former quarterback from Folsom who went to Washington, didn't get drafted, and is kind of the name in the NFL right now as far as quarterbacks, and that is
Cincinnati. Jake
What's
Browning.
that? Jake Browning. So, much success. Hey, if you're not aware, the South Dakota just won the national championship for the FCC.
FCS national title.
Yeah. So pretty easily. So with that, any other predictions?
Well, in that here, next episode, looking forward to some college football recap. So,
and I gotta find 3 songs that are
3 songs. Yeah,
that's
3 forgotten jams.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll sign out from the At Wits End podcast. Thanks for listening.